Chris with HobbyKing.com. What does the dog say? Ruff. What's the duck say? Quack. But what does the fox say? Bow, 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 cha, 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 cha. Guys, it is Friday, and I am excited to bring you these news frames, as I always am. Everyone points out I'm always excited about everything, but why not? It's the RC hobby. So we've got the new Fun RC dart frames, and these things are pretty awesome. I've got a few that I've built up here for testing. And let's go over some of these specs on these things. These frames are actually pretty amazing for their price point. They're hitting all the major features of the top line frames out there, and definitely at a fun price. So first one we're going to talk about is our little 250 right here. It's designed for FPV type of applications, as well as carrying an HD style camera on it. Go ahead and we'll just start from the top right here. So this is a clean and dirty setup, meaning that the upper frame that houses the flight controller as well as the camera is isolated from the lower frame. And what that does is stop the vibration from the props and the motors, creating a jello effect within the camera itself, and it allows your flight controller to run a little bit higher PID settings as well. Houses the battery right on the bottom, and if we take a look at the frame, it has camera support right on the front center line, as well as a Mobius mount right on top. On my particular setup, I'm actually just flying with the FPV camera as the Mobius. I know there's a slight lag there, but I'm okay on this particular bird with that, as I'm running my video transmitter on the top of it. Backside, you got lots of provisions for all your equipment, as you can see right on the backside of this one that I've got here. I've got the Mobius, I've got the flight controller, got my FrSky back here, I've got my GPS set up here, my video transmitter, my telemetry radio, and my OSD right in there. If you take a look at the lower stack right in here, you can see there's plenty of room for the ESCs to fit in between these frames, and let's go ahead and talk about that. So besides this being a clean and dirty, and I also want to point out that this does include, if we can get a shot in on here, we take a look, hardware that goes in between these thimbles that stop it from, in a hard crash, the upper section disengaging, and a lot of times these thimbles will just pop out and allow this to rip out, and it pulls on your wires. Obviously not a good situation. It still allows it to move around just fine, but it just stops that disengagement. So it does come with that hardware. Don't have it on this one. All right, so this power distribution board that comes on both of these frames has mounting for the ESC. So you just cut the power leads to the ESC, solder them up right on the board. It has zip tie attachment points that attach between these board halves. And what is really cool is if we turn this frame around, it has soldering points where you can actually directly solder an XT60 or a T-connector directly to the back of the frame on both little minis here. That power then is distributed through the frame, and it has a couple points on here on the front side that allow you to take AV power, which I've done on this one. Probably not going to be able to see it. AV power as well as power for your flight controller. Pull that off for your PSU. And then the cool thing is right on the front side of it has these little soldering LED headlights. Just pops in there, and it has a little light switch on there. I'm going to just flip this one off. It's so bright, blowing out the camera. So it's got this little LED headlight spotlight on there. Pop that on, and it just has a little nice switch on there. You can see how cool that is. That's just pretty awesome. So the power distribution board, ESC mounts, LED mount for your power connector, as well as power takeoff points. Really awesome frame. Between these halves, it's got a little aluminum standoff, so it makes that lower frame extremely strong. Both arms on both of these versions, this is the 400 and this is the 250, 5mm, actually it's 5.2mm arm thickness on this material, extremely strong. And the other cool thing about these frames is that if we take a look at the wiring, it actually has CNC slotted channels for the wires for the ESCs to come up and through to your ESCs. Both of these frames have that, and you can see it right in here, right underneath the arms. Makes for a super clean installation, just right there to your ESCs, and not a whole lot of wiring on there. You can see how clean this one is set up with the ESCs right between the frame halves on there. Power just plugs straight in from your battery to the back side. You got the clean and dirty setup. So like I was saying, 5mm arms on these, so they're pretty much indestructible. We also have full part support. It's not quite listed yet on the parts. We haven't taken all the pictures and got them listed, but you absolutely have no problem with parts. We've got everything from the arms to the LEDs that you can buy for this. So definitely check that underneath the related items. Now let's talk about the hardware. This of course comes with a nice machined down aluminum standoffs, which reduces weight versus those bigger hex style ones. Nice hard anodized and nice polished steel Hardware on this, of course, has the plastic hardware that goes for the thimbles to stop that from disengaging. Even comes with the bolts for your motor. Pretty much all the hardware there, nice little rubber landing skids on that. As far as weight, with all this hardware and the quad stacks on it, not only is it extremely strong, it's pretty light. This one's rated at 135 grams, and I believe the spec on this one is 310. I threw them on the scale, and that is accurate. So this is kind of what you can do with them. This one's set up with a pan and tilt for FPV use. We've got our new Multi-Star high-density battery packs in there, and this one will fly for about 15-18 minutes or so on full FPV. And I've got a full APM 2.7 mounted up on this one running FrSky. On this one over here, once again, full APM. I've got everything on this one but the kitchen sink, including GPS, OSD, FrSky, telemetry radio, and Mobius for my HD recording as well as FPV camera. Fantastic setup on this. As far as the motors, sneak peek, these are coming. Multi-Star Elites, I'm going to go ahead and just let them out, the cat out of the bag on these. They are definitely coming. Definitely be checking for them up on the new items page. Awesome motors. So that is them. These are the new FunRC Dart series of multi-rotors. Phenomenal if you take a look at the price and what you're getting with this, including the LEDs, the super nice power distribution board with ESC mounting, and the power block for the connector itself, the nice thick arms, all composite construction, the hardware with it, the thimbles with it, as well as just the overall weight and construction of it. It's a very nice multi-rotor. For the price you'd expect, and the market, to be honest with you, you've been looking at them all, is almost double this for anything that's even comparable to this quality and level. Definitely check for them on the new items page. They are definitely up there and running. And as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will see you next time. Let's go ahead and take this one for a flight.